Hello and welcome back to my channel. Sarah Steckler here. Today I wanted to talk about some really quick lists that you can make that are really helpful for kind of just reconnecting, checking in with your mental health, and also kind of pushing yourself forward, because I'm someone that struggles with my mental health and my whole life sometimes it's really easy for me to ruminate and get in cycles. So I just wanted to share this example of a couple different lists that I've made, and some of these things may resonate with you, and then also I'll tell you a little bit about the book that this is inside of. So first things first, this template over here is like a brain dump template page, and it's actually included in the Daily Productivity and Brain Dump book. This is a hardcover version that I'm working on. It's available on the Barnes & Noble website online, and this one is a soft floppy cover version that's available on Amazon. I also have this available as a digital planner if you use like an iPad or a tablet. And I am thinking about creating actual printable versions of this so you could use it in different size planners. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. It's just kind of like something I'd love to do, but I have to figure out all the measurements and cut lines and all that kind of stuff for all my planners. So I haven't went and done it yet, but if there's enough interest, I'd love to do that. So inside this, just to give you a little information, the Daily Productivity and Brain Dump book, it's essentially a bunch of brain dump pages on the left. So you do those first thing, and then on the right, there's a page that helps you map out kind of like your daily priorities. And I won't spend time going over this because I'll link to a video below where I go over this like whole process and how you can map out what you're working on and your focus stuff for the day. But this is just kind of what this looks like. I have a bunch of tax stuff. I wrote this in 2023, so I'm going to cover this up over here. But I wanted to walk you through this brain dump and then what I did, why I highlighted it the way I did, and sometimes what I do at the end after I've done different brain dump stuff. So there's 3 sections here on this template. It says all the good things that are happening, things I'm learning from, and what I'm wishing for. And then I also added and working towards. So I kind of labeled these themes as happiness, lessons, and goals. And I'll just kind of read you these. And I don't know how long this video will really be, but so for the happiness one, all the good things that are happening, I wrote, the weather has been cool here. I'm a big fan of cooler weather. I said there's a squirrel that's coming to visit daily, and I'm building trust with him. Birds are out every morning, and I'm enjoying coffee on the patio, sleeping better, and getting tired earlier. So this is kind of just gratitude, right? Bella and Dublin are super healthy and doing well. Debbie has reversed her diabetes. We actually unfortunately lost our cat Dublin in January of this year. It was so sad. Oh my gosh. But she lived a really long, wonderful life. We think she was 15, but she had diabetes. Gosh, when was it? 2020, 2021. She had just gained a lot of weight, and we took her in and they were yeah, her blood sugar's through the roof. And so I was really worried, but luckily she was the sweetest cat ever, and she let me give her the insulin shots, and I did those twice a day for almost 2 years, and we were actually able to reverse her diabetes, and she didn't need to be on the insulin anymore. She lost weight. She was super healthy. I wouldn't doubt if it didn't add 3-4 years to her life. So that was just really, really wonderful. So I was so happy to hear about that. And then I wrote my creativity is coming back. I think around this time I was still dealing with some PTSD flashbacks and stuff. So it was really hard for me to be creative. And so I started noticing that I wanted to do more creative things. So that was really exciting. Feeling clearer on business ideas. So I have that. And then I wrote things I'm learning from, lessons, noticing again how much, what I eat affects my energy and mental health. I tend to have more anxiety and unpleasant thoughts at night. I wrote, don't trust your brain after 8 p.m. kind of vibes. I notice when the kitchen is a mess, I'm a mess. It's the heart of the home. Keeping it tidy, staying on top of dishes really helps. Keeping counters clean makes such a difference. And as you can see, I started to after I wrote these, I went through and highlighted the parts that really resonated with me. And so it's really easy when I come back to this page to be oh, these are the happiness things, right? These are the lessons. And then this last one was what I'm wishing for and working toward. I wrote better sleep quality and quantity, and consistent, specific bedtime, more time outdoors on the patio, going to parks, etc. At the time I wrote this, we were living in San Diego, so I could be outside on the patio like any time of year. Streamlined content creation and management, attend live calls for current program I was in, routine daily movement, morning routine walk, stretch, and quick weight lifting, repairing and restoring nervous system and reducing cortisol, daily reading daily reading versus scrolling, limited screen time. It's so interesting, by the way, because I feel like I'm so annoying talking about this because I'm not trying to convince everybody to get off social media. And obviously you could argue that YouTube is social media too. But now that I'm not on TikTok or Instagram, anything with the scroll, and I don't watch YouTube shorts. Every now and then one will get me, but I actually tell it to limit them and I don't look at them on my phone. Just since not viewing so much short form content, and I refuse to make it too. I'm not gonna take all these videos and repurpose them into little posts and shorts, and I'm not gonna do it. Since then, and just looking back at this, I look back at so many things that I was complaining about and how that really was related to my screen time and my social media use. And now that I'm not on there, it's just so much easier to regulate my nervous system. It's so much easier to just naturally have more time to do the things I want to do, like reading. Anyway, I'm just so happy about that. And it's just really interesting to look back at these. So as you can see, I did 3 different colors and I highlighted them. And what I like to do is in the back of my brain dump book, and I'll just use this blank one as an example, there's actually pages. Yeah, there's a bunch of just blank brain dumps and list pages in the back. And what I'll often do is come back here and make categories. I'll say, I'll do a bigger brain dump of what's made me happy this year. And I'll just kind of keep it ongoing. I could write 2026, happy and great gratitude moments or something like that. And I could brain dump in here throughout the year. And then also I can come back through my other brain dumps, right? And just write these down. So I could just write squirrel is coming to visit daily, and I could write down the date because I'll have that on the daily page. And I could just add that to this list. And then it becomes this really cool thing where at the end of the year, I can come back and look at these specific areas of my life and business, right? So I'd have lessons learned, I'd have goal setting and what's working on my goals. And obviously some of these things are going to be more nuanced in how they present and all that. Some of these are just going to be more insights, but then you have these lists, right? And you'd have several different pages of these. This one could just be for the happiness or the gratitude. This one could be for business projects. You could decide, right? But throughout your book, you can come in here and there's different templates, obviously, throughout here. This one, it says what I am seeking, what is seeking me, what I know to be true. And then there's blank ones, mind, body, soul. So you could decide your different themes, but I just really like this. You could do this with any book or notebook, obviously, but then it just becomes really easy because you can come back to it. You can color code it and you can reflect, because one of the big things I really want to start doing on a more regular basis, both monthly, quarterly, and annually, is reflecting on all the intangible stuff that we forget to look at, right? It's like keeping a done list versus a to-do list. At the end of the day, you realize oh my gosh, I did some laundry, I put the dishes away, I went for a walk. There was this issue in my business and I figured it out without AI or whatever, right? You can write down these wins, and then at the end of the day, you feel so much more accomplished. You build your self-efficacy, all of that. And that's so important to do every month, quarter, year in your life and business too. So this is just one strategy for doing that. I hope this was helpful to you and giving you some ideas, and definitely check out the brain dump book if you're interested in it. And I'd love to hear kind of how you map out stuff, and if you do any kind of review process for your gratitude and everything like that. All right, talk to you guys later.